Welcome back to the channel, Unconformed. If you're new here, welcome to the club. This is a Liverpool fan channel where we talk things, anything, and everything about Liverpool FC. Welcome in. And Liverpool, stay top of the table. Today we are going to be talking about how that happened against Chelsea. A tough task, a tough team who I think is on the rise, and massive respect to Chelsea and the project that they have kind of started to put together. And it looked a little chaotic at first, and now there looks like there's a vision, right, with Enzo at the helm. And Cole Palmer becoming one of the best players in the world very rapidly, right? So, but Liverpool were too much for this Chelsea side, and I've said this in the beginning, and I'll say it again. Chelsea are just a little bit too young and just a couple years shy of being serious title contenders if they keep with this project that Enzo's going on with, and it stays continuous, and they don't switch up things, and they don't continue to bring in a slew of players. I think if they keep it the core the way it is right now, I think they can do some special things. But Arne's side is a finished product. I think it is now time to believe, if you are a Liverpool fan. And if you do not believe, I don't know what else needs to convince you. The cards are falling into place for you to decide that you are ready to believe in this Liverpool team, and you are ready to believe that this team could potentially go all the way. I'm going to talk about how that's even possible. I'm going to talk about the game, the things that I've seen. But before I do that, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you love Liverpool takes, love Liverpool content, from a voice that you may not have the same opinions as other Liverpool fans. That's why the channel is called Unconformed. And join the conversation. Make sure you guys comment down below if you disagree. If you agree, it doesn't matter. And if you're new here, make sure you tell us where you are watching from so we can say hello. This thing is going all across the world. But with that being said, Arne Slot is the real deal. Arne Slot is the real deal. He has solved Liverpool's long-term defensive problems that we've had, where Klopp could not really do that. I mean, even the goal that was conceded today, you can look back and say, man, if Konate wore a size, 13 instead of a 14, we could be looking at a 2-0 victory today instead of a 2-1 victory today, right? Which was really one of the only chances that Chelsea had all match. And we do such a good job of making the other team look better than they actually are, and making it give the illusion that they did better than they actually did. And we've done that in a lot of the close games that we have won over and over again. 10 out of 11 for Arne Slot. There's not much more you can ask for from this man. Yet he still brings up that Bournemouth defeat at home. That's how obsessive this guy is. And I'm starting to love his personality, how witty he is, and how just hungry he is for success. I think this is the perfect type of leader that we needed to succeed Klopp. Someone so incisive, someone so decisive. And I don't know if there's a better term for it, but cutthroat, man. This guy will not accept anything less than perfection, or less than the vision that he's seeing in his mind. And I think this was everything that Liverpool needed. And I think that's why we're seeing the best out of some of our players. Mo Salah, one of the best seasons that he's had. Trent, the best defensive season that he's ever had. And I will come out and say that right away. VVD looks like he's back in his prime. Konate looks like he's VVD level. And don't forget that Robbo put Noni Madueke in his back pocket this entire match, which is something that we didn't even really talk about a whole ton. That entire back line has gone up another level, if you can even believe it, this late in their careers. I know Trent's coming into his prime, and it's good to see that he's adding the defensive side to his game and becoming, I think, the best, not just right back, but wide back in the world right now. In terms of creativity going forward, in terms of defense, he has it all. And all of this is coming from the building blocks of what Klopp left over and what Slot has been able to do with this exact squad. He hasn't bought anybody, guys. The guys that he has bought haven't even been able to play in this side. Gigi Marmardashvili doesn't even play for Liverpool right now. Chiesa has been injured for a little bit. This is Klopp's boys that he's been able to transform, and this is what you want to see in a Liverpool manager, in any manager that's taking over from a legendary manager. Can you get more out of the players that the previous manager left over? He's looking like a genius, guys. He's looking like a genius. But what can you say? Curtis Jones had a baby and decided to take it to the next level. He won us this match. Was he the best midfielder in the game? In stretches, yes, I believe that he was. But I do think a lot of the actions that he did, obviously winning the penalty and then, of course, scoring the goal, led to our victory. So you cannot ignore him from being man of the match. He's proving a lot of the haters wrong, and he's saying, fuck him. He's saying fuck him to him. Nunes had a powerful cameo today. He was going into midfield almost acting like a number 10, number 8, winning the ball back. He actually won the ball back more than any player on the field and won the most duels out of all the players. Was spraying balls into the wings, little flicks. That's the Darwin that we need to see. If he needs to drop back into midfield and play a Firmino-esque role, I think he can do it. He has all the tools. He has the touch. He has the technique. He has the tenacity. And I just loved what I saw from Darwin today. The only thing that was missing with Darwin was a goal, honestly. And Mo Salah is a man rejuvenated. He's the man. I mean, I know I said that he's the greatest winger in Premier League history, but we're getting close to start saying that he might be the best player in Premier League history. Premier League history, okay? Calm down before you go into the comments and say George Best was okay, fine. For the OGs, maybe not in English football history, but in Premier League history, you got TT Henry. I think he's the definite best ever. I don't think there's an argument there. In terms of resume, what he was able to do. Cristiano is a huge talent, but I don't think he hit his peaks until he went to Madrid, right? Hazard is in there, but I don't think the numbers back up Hazard, right? Mo has the numbers, and he has the flash and the dash at times when he needs to. I mean, turning, I can't remember, turning Cancelo inside out. That's a Cruyff turn right there, baby. That's a Bergkamp-esque type of turn and finish. When you look back on the resume, because I know people are going to say, "Well, Mo isn't very exciting to watch." I like it. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But Mo is rapidly creating a huge statement and a huge shout for him to be considered not just the best winger in the Premier League history. I think he already is, but the best player in Premier League history. It's crazy. But if I were to pick Jonesy, would be that man of the match. I think it was a great team display. We defended as a unit. We slowed Chelsea down. Exactly what I said needed to happen, except a little bit at the end. It was almost like we were trying to go and kill the game off. But I think that was Arne just being fired up from some of the decisions. And the officiating was absolutely tragic in this match, especially early on in that Tosin Adebayo challenge on Diogo Jota, which I think maybe ended up in some sort of rib damage. That should have been a red card, because if we're going off of how Saliba got sent off, it's got to stay consistent across the board. And we'll talk about Saliba. We'll talk about Arsenal in a little bit. But we get the win against a very high potential Chelsea team, right? But honestly, that game could have been 2 or 3-0 if Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones finishes some of those chances that they had in the first half. And that's what I'm talking about, is that we make some of these games look like they're a lot closer than they are. But 10 out of 11 for Arne. It's time to believe, boys. It's time to believe, boys. Don't nitpick anymore. Don't say, well, we didn't look good today. We won against a tough team and got a result. Another result, and almost another clean sheet if it wasn't for just, Konate just leaving his ankle out there and going up against an Arsenal side coming up that is wounded, missing all of their best players at the Etihad. You know what's going to happen, or at the Emirates, sorry. You know what's going to happen. They're going to park the bus. That doesn't work with Arne Slot's team. They are spelling a recipe for disaster if they try to go that route. And I think our big men, VVD and Konate, are going to have a field day, raining in headers from corners after we win them over and over and over. And I think this is going to be probably one of our easier games that we actually play. And I've been saying this for weeks, guys. And everyone's like, oh, Arsenal's going to be our big test. I think Arsenal is actually going to be an easier game. The only games that I'm really worried about is RB Leipzig and Leverkusen, who are in great form right now, especially RB Leipzig in the Champions League, right? But in the league, I think we still get results, guys. I think we stay at the top of the league. And I think the other teams and our rivals, they can no longer ignore us. They can no longer push us aside and say, oh, it's just momentum. Oh, they're just facing. We played Man United, Milan, and Chelsea, and we're about to play Arsenal. And we're probably going to get a result out of that game. Who else do we need to play to prove the entire league that we're serious this year? The last team last year was serious, and I always believed that. You can go back and look at some of those old videos. I always believed that this team was ready. And everyone said, wow, this is a Klopp masterstroke. This is coaching at its finest. It's like Sir Alex's final season, taking an average team and taking them further. No, I believed that these players always had the potential to be in a phenomenal team. We have some of the best players in the world. And Slot has gone and proved that we already had some of the best players in the world. Where do you improve this team? Seriously, I'm not even joking. I love what I'm seeing from all of our boys, especially this midfield. Gravenberch has just grown into that 6 role and made it his own. Sabo is playing like a 10, 6, 8 kind of role, getting back, defending, locked Cole Palmer up, put him in his pocket. I know everyone's like, we need him to score goals. If you can take the best player out of the game, I'll take that. As a former defensive midfielder and a right back, I wish my number 10 got back and helped me defensively with the most dangerous guy on the team. Sabo has an unthanked role. And a lot of people look at Odegaard, they'll look at an Özil, they'll look at some of these really dynamic 10s that get you a lot of goals and they get you a lot of shots on target. Bruno Fernandes I think he's created the most chances in the entire league. But would you take Bruno? I wouldn't. I'm keeping Sabo. I'm going Sabo. I'm going Jonesy. I'm going Macca. I'm going Gravenberch. I'm keeping our guys. I'm going Harvey Elliott. Just saying those names aloud, I'm like, this team's special. And they're doing something special, and they have the perfect coach to do it. And not only on top of that, Anfield was in full voice. I heard him loud and clear in the airport today as I was traveling across America. I'm just really, really happy with our boys. I'm happy with our team. I'm happy with our organization as a whole. But it's real. I know it's hard to believe that it's real. It's hard. It's like, when are they going to wake me up? When is reality going to hit for some of us Liverpool fans? We're awake, guys. It's real. The reality is real. We're top of the league. And we have clear runway against a Man City team who's struggling and an Arsenal team who's wounded. Who else is standing in our way? We are in a title race, boys. And the cards are falling into place. And they are falling the way that we need them to make a serious run at this. We're playing a lot of these teams at the right timing. And the time is now. Did I say Mo Salah is the best player in Premier League history? I think so. Up the Reds, boys. We march on. Boom.